What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Trifecta. Joined with me as always, we got Tyrone, Stallworth, Tommy Smith. How are you guys doing today? We'll start with you, Tommy.
I'm nervous, man. I'm nervous. It's
Nervous.
Yeah, it's been a weird week for my favorite baseball team, and they're making me a little nervous here tonight. So that's about the best way I could put it.
Fair enough. Ty, how are you doing?
I'm alright. New couch. Who this?
New couch, who did? Man, I miss that old couch though. That old couch looks wicked comfy.
Right.
But so we might as well share with everybody the brand new Trifecta logo, courtesy of one of my friends on Twitter. She created it for us. Obviously, we all, there's the three of us, so we each picked our favorite animal, picked a jersey for it. I think it looks dope. What do you guys think?
It's dope. I mean, who's that dude on the left in the Broncos jersey, man? That dude is sexy. Look at that hair.
Yeah, man, it's fire. It's definitely fire. The bull looks goated.
But man, that it was a fun. It was fun anticipating for the longest, where we were trying to figure out like what's it gonna look like, how's it coming out, and then she sent that, and I think we were all just like off the bat kind of taken back by how good it was right away.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, big fact.
But
I'm actually surprised that it came in sooner than me, soon as it did.
Yeah, I am too. But no, I mean, I'm very happy with it. I know you guys are happy with it, and yeah, I mean, that's all I can say about it. I don't know what else to say. I mean, I'm happy we officially have our own logo. But let's dive right into this. So, Week 6 of the NFL is coming up. Obviously, COVID's still been running rampant. The Patriots had another positive test. Cam Newton's coming back, but we lose an offensive lineman. The Jaguars, I believe, just had one or multiple. I feel like now it's just about every team is starting to come up with 1, 2, 3, 4 cases at a time. I still think they need to cancel the season, or at least pause it. Pause the season for 2 weeks in total. Every player stays at a hotel at their facility or close to it. And I feel like that's arguably the best way to get this under control. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I mean, COVID's running rampant like the chicken pox. So I guess the best way they can stifle it is what you said, right? Have people in a bubble type situation, facility, and a hotel, because if they go home, nothing's going to really change. So I don't know if they're going to pause it though. The NFL is weird about money, and I heard that they even booked the Super Bowl hotels probably like 2 weeks farther back just in, preparation for COVID. But the NFL is weird about money, bro. I don't think they'll pause it.
Yeah, we've talked about this. I know we mentioned it last time. It's almost laughable to see how the NFL has handled the COVID situation compared to both the NBA and the MLB. It seemed like with both of those leagues, you had an outbreak or not an outbreak, a case, and they got it handled quickly. The player was isolated from the team. They brought in new players in the MLB case, or they figured out a way to shut it down with the NBA, and they moved on. And it just seems like with the NFL, their only solution is to be able to
I think our boy broke.
It was the weirdest pause because it was like, is Jared pause too? Don't know.
You and I were both looking I think we were both trying to see if the other one of us was paused. like I was looking at you, I'm like, is he moving?
Nah, that's
Oh,
hilarious.
That's great.
That's hilarious, man. Get all your shots for Tommy hand right now while he can't defend himself.
Broncos are gonna lose tomorrow. I mean, that's a given. But like, all right. Well,
let's look at this week's schedule though.
Tommy is
right.
What did you say, Ty? I'm sorry.
I said let's look at this week 6 schedule, right?
Let's do it. Let's take a look.
The early game that jumps out to me is Browns Steelers. I think that's going to be a bar fight.
Well, this is the first time I'm pretty sure they've played each other, or I don't know if it's the first time they've played each other since the Myles Garrett incident, but I know it's the first time Myles Garrett will be back on the field against the Steelers. Since the whole Mason Rudolph incident.
Oh,
which
yeah.
I know.
About that.
I know I've shared my fair share of thoughts on that, but honestly, I was on Myles Garrett's side in that fight. I know that's an unpopular opinion. If you go back and watch it, I mean, I could point out some stuff and not going to talk about it on the show, but it's his first time back on the field against the Steelers since that whole incident went down. So I'm going to guess that there is going to be some sort of grudge being held. Tommy, welcome back to the world of the living.
Yeah, I'm back. My bad. I don't know what happened there.
But Ty and I were just talking about the early matchup of Week 6 that jumped out to him. He was saying the Steelers versus the Browns, and I was talking about how it is Myles Garrett's first game back against the Steelers.
Yeah, this will be
suspension.
Yeah, this will be a really big one. You know, I think last week we kind of saw what could potentially be a playoff matchup with the Browns and Colts. I thought that game was really good, excuse me. And the Browns ended up winning. And now they're going to face a really hot Pittsburgh team that came off of win against a kind of a sloppy win against Philadelphia. I think this is going to be a really good game. I think you're going to see a lot of players, step up for Cleveland. I think they will take it. I think, after last week's sloppy victory for Pittsburgh, I think Cleveland just has too much. But I think it's going to be a really good game between these two.
So yeah. I'm going to give my thoughts. Oh, go ahead, Ty. You go first.
Yeah, I was that bar fight. I didn't mean literally. Definitely forgot about the Kyle Rudolph and Myles Garrett incident last year. Hopefully that doesn't go down again. But yeah, man, I'm looking for OBJ to give me another big splash this week. It seems like him and Baker Mayfield are starting to iron out some kinks in their relationship, and the chemistry there is looking quite nice. Jarvis might even throw a touchdown pass to somebody. Who knows, right? He's always good for those gadget plays. I haven't seen a lot of Pittsburgh, but I heard that their defense is really good. I don't know if their offense can, help them out a little bit, but yeah, man, I'm kind of siding with Tommy here. I think that the Browns are going to pull it out.
So I'm going to give a little bit of a hot take, which is weird because my hot take agrees with Tommy. I think the Browns are going to pull it out. I think they've been. I think they've been pretty solid this whole year so far. I mean, they've had a few tough matchups. They've really kind of proven that once that roster that everyone on paper is like, wow, this roster is insane. They should be going to the Super Bowl. I think now that they've had a year and a half to kind of start meshing and working together, it's starting to show some glimmer of hope for the future of that organization. And honestly, as somebody who was rooting for the Browns during their 0-16 season, just because I always root for the underdog, it's nice to see things changing up. But my hot take here is I don't actually think the Steelers are that good.
I don't either.
I understand.
I don't think that's that hot.
Yeah, I mean, well, look, everyone's like, they're 5-0 or 4-1 or whatever their record is. And I'm like, yeah, that's great. They're just not that good of a team. I don't care what anybody says. Juju Smith-Schuster, I absolutely love that kid. I think if he goes to just about any other organization aside from like the Jets, he would be infinitely better. Um, I just I feel I just don't think they're that good. Just watching them play, they played sloppy against the Eagles. They haven't really had a tough matchup yet this year. I feel like most of their matchups have been a little bit easier for them, and they just haven't proven themselves, if that makes any sense. So for me, I just don't think the Steelers are that good this year.
No, I 100% agree with you. I think when you look at it, I mean this in the nicest way possible, but Big Ben has lost it, and he's lost it, but he's still good enough of a quarterback to be able to get those ugly wins. I mean, look at it. It took 4 touchdowns from a rookie last week at a Notre Dame to beat an Eagles team that is depleted. You know, it's impressive to see what Mike Tomlin has done with that team. I think he is one of the best coaches in the league, and he doesn't get enough credit. I mean, they went 8-8 last year with Mason Rudolph and Duck Hodges, and they were still basically a playoff team until week 15. So it's impressive what he can do, but they win a lot of ugly games. That defense can get after the quarterback, but outside of, Chase Claypool now and Juju Smith-Schuster, they don't really have a lot of offensive weapons. James Conner has been about as hit and miss as you can get on a week-to-week basis. You got Anthony McFarland, who hasn't really seen a lot of playing time out of Maryland, the running back that they drafted this year, and Benny Snell it's not been the best. And Big Ben still makes some bad throws. And I think their defense is a little overrated on the back end, but they really can't get after the quarterback. And we're going to see if they can step up this week, because Cleveland is a good team. Cleveland can get after the quarterback. They got a good secondary, and their offense, I mean, they can beat you in 10 ways in one drive. So it'll be I think it's going to be one of the best games of the week.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. I just, I think this game is going to expose Pittsburgh's true colors. I don't think they're going to really. I mean, and I'm willing to be proven wrong, but I don't think they're going to be able to put up a ton of points against the Cleveland defense. And even if they do put up a fair number of points, I will be generous and I will give them 30 points. If they're able to even put up 30 points, I don't see how Pittsburgh's defense is stopping that dynamic of an offense with every single weapon that Cleveland has. I mean, so I just don't, whether it's defensive or offensive, I just don't see how Pittsburgh can pull this win out.
Ty's muted, but I think he's trying to say something out here about the Pittsburgh Steelers game. But yeah, it'll be a really interesting game. I think when you look at it, like you said with Cleveland, they're just so good, man. Cleveland is just so good. Ty, what were you gonna say about the Cleveland game?
Oh yeah. I was gonna say, is Nick Chubb out for the year? I really need that.
No, he's out
injury.
6 weeks from when he got injured, at least.
Yeah, that's pretty much the year, man. That sucks, man. That sucks for my fantasy team for sure. But
yeah, your fantasy team's struggling this year.
That's all I had to say about the Browns situation. Let's move forward to that Packers game, man. That Packers Bucks. I'm wishing for an L for the Packers on that one. That's just the Bears fan in me, though.
Do you really think that Bucks defense can shut down Rodgers, though? I mean, the dude's been lights out this year, which I called. Let's roll the tape back.
I don't think anybody can shut down Rodgers, and I say that as sad as possible.
So, I have a really bad game for tomorrow at 1 that I want to talk about real quick before we jump back to the Packers and the Bucks. Obviously, the Packers are winning that game. Sorry, Ty. It's just how it is. But I want to talk about the Lions and Jaguars game for a minute.
Oh, my gosh. That's a game?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
The reason I want to talk about it is because, personally, I think the Lions roster isn't terrible. I think their roster is pretty talented. But their coaching staff is awful. Just awful.
That must hurt coming from you, seeing that Matt
Mm-hmm.
Patricia's a
Mm-hmm.
former Belichick
Hard pill to swallow.
understudy.
It doesn't. It doesn't. Like, it's weird. So when Matt Patricia was with the Patriots, he always had that bend don't break kind of mentality for the defense. In every single close game, like, it was always like anxiety ridden. And the Super Bowl where Malcolm Butler picked off Russell Wilson for the win on the goal line. It was one of those moments almost every game with Matt Patricia. And when obviously I was happy for him. He gets his head coaching position, but I just knew he's not fit to be a head coach. So I guess my question is, if the Lions lose this game, does he get fired? Obviously, we've seen a few coaches get fired this year already. Twitter is blowing up with, fire Adam Gase, but not enough people are talking about Matt Patricia. And personally, I think he needs to go. I think if that organization wants to thrive, that he needs to go. And I want your guys' thoughts on that.
Yeah, I think it's weird when you look at some of the coaches who have been fired. Bill O'Brien, another Belichick understudy. I mean, honestly, probably one of the worst coaches that's come in through the league in the last few years. I mean, he's been carried by his team and his defense. He traded his best, arguably one of the best receivers to ever play the game, away for a bag of peanuts and a washed-up running back. And then you have Dan Quinn, who is the king of choking. I mean, the dude seems like a nice guy, but he's a terrible coach. But I mean, when you look at Patricia, I mean, the talent on that team is there, and he obviously had a bad relationship with Darius Slay that got him moved to Philadelphia. They lost Graham Glasgow this year to Denver through free agency. But Matthew Stafford is one of the better quarterbacks that doesn't get a lot of recognition in the league. Obviously, he has some turnover problems, and he can be a little wild at some points, but the guy can play, and he's had good talent around him. We saw Ebron have a good year there. Calvin Johnson, obviously, Kenny Galladay and Marvin Jones. TJ Hawkinson's there now. My biggest thing, and I wanted to kind of tie this back in with the Falcons, is if the Lions lose this game and Patricia gets fired, I think you see both Matt Ryan and Matt Stafford moved at the deadline, because both those teams need a complete reset. If the Lions lose, I mean, there's just no point in keeping Stafford. He's got a decent sized contract, and if you're gonna try and make a move like that to get yourself back in contention with a team like Green Bay, who's gonna lose Aaron Rodgers in the next 2 to 3 years, you got to make a move that can get you some draft picks, and that move I think is moving on from Matt Stafford.
You actually bring up a fantastic point. And I'll tie it back to your point about both the Lions and the Falcons. If, Matt Patricia does get fired, you don't just move on from Stafford and Matt Ryan. You move on from everybody, right? Mm-hmm. If I'm the Falcons, I'm having a fire sale. Julio Jones is obviously still one of the better wide receivers in the NFL. He is getting up there in age a little bit, but he still can fetch you a first-round pick at least. Get rid of him. Stockpile those picks. Obviously, Calvin Ridley's young. It's his third year, I think. Third year. And I mean, he's every year has just gotten better. He's been awesome. I mean, maybe you keep him just to kind of have that guy I've been in the locker room for a few years. I am talented. You can build around me, right? Unfortunately, the Falcons have kind of moved on from so many people that I don't really know anybody else on that roster, like off the top of my head, in terms of talent-wise.
I mean, when you look at it, I think, you see guys like Deion Jones and Keanu Neal who are both hurt, and they're big playmakers, but, I mean, their secondary and their offensive line are garbage. I mean, they are tough to watch, and it puts a lot on Matt Ryan to try and win so many games, and that's when you see, bad Matt Ryan who's throwing, stupid picks like he did in the end zone against Carolina this past week. I agree with you. I think there's time where you just got to blow it up. If you're going to get rid of Thomas Dimitrioff and Dan Quinn, you need to do a hard reset and just completely get rid of everybody.
And the same thing goes for the Lions. And I mean, I honestly think the Lions could get more for who they have on their roster than the Falcons could get for on theirs. I mean, think about it. Kerryon Johnson's a solid back when he's not hurt, right? You've got Marvin Jones Jr., who's phenomenal. Kenny Golladay, who's phenomenal. T.J. Hawkinson, like you mentioned, he's great. I mean, they have a very talented offense. Their defense isn't terrible either. It's just unfortunate coaching decisions. And so I think, like you make a great point, blow it up, both of these teams, just hard reset. I mean, next year, this upcoming year's draft, there are going to be some really great quarterbacks in the top 10. So, and I think if both teams continue to play awful, they can get one of those quarterbacks. Granted, how often do we see a top 10 quarterback play lights out compared to a guy like Lamar Jackson who's picked 32nd? You know what I mean? So there's a lot of, or 31st rather, whatever number he was. But there's a lot of speculation about it, but I 100% agree with you, Tommy.
Yeah, I can agree with you guys on, changing the coaching, changing the quarterback situation. But as far as fire sale for both teams, maybe not. Like you said, they can get, top talent at the quarterback position in the draft, right? I think that would be more of a viable chance is to get, have those guys have weapons on the outside. Like, I wouldn't give up my top wide receivers if I'm planning on picking a quarterback, if that makes sense at all.
No, definitely.
Let me ask you this, Ty. So, like I mentioned, Julio Jones is getting up there in age. He is starting to have a little bit of struggle with injuries. Right. So, while you can, so if you are the Falcons, I guess, do you take that risk and, keep him, draft a quarterback, and hope he doesn't get injured? Or do you get for him what you can, and right now that's top value?
I think the Falcons are going to do right by Julio Jones and not, just ship him away. I think he's a lifer.
No.
They've taken care of him. Like, his last contract extension was direct deposit, like all of it. And that's unheard of from the NFL. So it's like, I don't know. I think he's going to retire a Falcon. I think that Calvin Ridley is going to be there for a while under the tutelage of Julio Jones. So, yeah, I think that they're really going to try to shoot for this quarterback, right? I think they're going to keep their weapons. That's the only thing I really see. I don't see them, fire selling the whole offense for a couple draft picks that might or might not pan out,
So to go off topic for a second, when I started this, when we started this episode, I had the Clemson game on in the background, and Clemson was winning 58-7. Now it is 73-7. So
Trevor Lawrence, man, he's ready for the Jets. He's getting ready for it.
If I'm Trevor Lawrence, I'm staying at Clemson.
No, he's getting a peek into his future because 7 points is probably about as much as he's going to put up next year in that offense.
Oh my God.
No, but to go off your thing with the Falcons, I think when you look at that team, I think it's more of a fire sale of the offense in the fact that you have an aging piece in Todd Gurley, you have an aging piece in Matt Ryan. I don't know if they trade Julio, but you can definitely, like Jared said, you can get top value. But if you get to the start of the new year, look at that roster. They do have pieces that are just injured. Keanu Neal, like I said, Deion Jones is also hurt. They have a lot of good pieces on that defense. I think the fire sale more goes to Detroit because when you look at them, you can get a good second, third, maybe fourth. I'd probably say third or fourth round pick for Matt Stafford. Let's say you finish, in the top 10 in draft picks, and you want to move up and take a guy like Justin Fields out of Ohio State. You have a guy like Kenny Golladay, T.J. Hawkinson. You just got DeAndre Swift. You got Jeff Okudah with the third overall pick last year to kind of help solidify that defensive side of the ball, along with Desmond Trufant from Atlanta. I just think if you look at it that way, you can build a team around a few pieces that you have in Detroit instead of when you're looking at Atlanta and they need to just build around their entire offense. Because, I mean, their offense is garbage. I mean, just they have nobody. When your defense can't put up, well, they do. Okay, that's sorry. They have pieces, but they have no defense that can help them. And when they have to start getting into positions where they're throwing the ball 50, 60 times a game, you're not going to win a football game like that. Look at what happened with Joe Burrow against Cleveland. You know, he threw 60 times, and it still wasn't enough. They put up 33 points, and that's in the 30-point range, and that's normally a win in the NFL. So I think that fire sale more comes for Detroit, but I definitely see Atlanta getting rid of Matt Ryan here at the trade deadline.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. Again, who knows? I don't think that they would ship off Julio just for the mere fact that, that's been a very loyal connection. I think he retires a Falcon. I think he does.
Yeah, I mean, I think Brady still retires a Patriot. He signs a one-day contract and retires as a Patriot. But I feel like if Atlanta wants to do right by Julio before he retires, they trade him to a contending team. That's all I'm saying. If they want to do right by Julio, they send him to a team where he can win a ring. That's all I'm going to say.
What is that team? Who do you think he goes to?
Obviously, what did you just say, Ty?
You're going to say the Patriots, bro.
I was going to say the Saints. But
the Saints? You think they trade him in division? No way. Not a player of that caliber.
They have nothing to lose. Right now, they have nothing to lose by trading him to the Saints. They're in last place. They're going to be in last place for at least another 2-3 years, maybe 4. Him going to the Saints makes perfect sense. He stays in the division. He plays them twice a year. Whatever, it happens. If they trade him out of division, honestly, with the way things have been going, I wouldn't be surprised if the Chiefs trade for him because, they just want everybody. Friggin' Le'Veon Bell going to the Chiefs. Come on.
I'm glad I said Mahomes getting 7 rings before it was popular. Roll back the tape.
I don't know, man. He looked like he was running for his life against the Raiders last week. That man couldn't do anything in that game.
Hey,
So,
I didn't know he was running for his life.
They had him moving, that's for sure. Just good.
No,
It's always good to see Pat Mahomes take a division loss, but we'll have to give him one of our own here in a few weeks. Drew Lock is still the future. He's coming back this week, man.
what is the Broncos' record?
Like 1-3, 2-3. Sorry, we're going for the dub this week. We're getting the upset, man. We play the Patriots tomorrow at 1:00 Eastern on CBS. Just
Ty, over or under? How many total yards does Cam have? 400 or less?
400.
Really giving him 400 coming off of autoimmune disease.
I just asked over or under. I did.
Bro, if he gets over 250.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. With your confidence, I might actually start Cam this week because when I started him, he was garbage sauce. You feel me?
You
Like trash.
really think the Broncos can hold Cam to under 300 total yards?
Total or passing?
They couldn't even hold the Jets. They couldn't even hold the Jets to 300 yards. So I really don't think that they will.
It's a new week, man. We've been preparing for the same team for 2 weeks, man. You better hope that they can do something. Philip Lindsay about to go off.
Cam is going to have... I'm going to throw out random numbers here. You ready? Cam is going to have...
Cam right now, bro. I'm pulling out the phone. I'm starting him.
You putting him in your lineup? Why are you trying to lose, Ty? Aren't you near the bottom of the league?
I'm starting him, man.
I wouldn't know what that's like.
Ryan would.
I think I had Matt Ryan starting only because he's always in negative game scripts. So he's gonna give you points like easy.
Yeah, no,
he hasn't thrown a touchdown in like 11 quarters. What are you talking about? Matt Ryan has been awful this year.
He's been awful.
Anyway,
yards, bro. Yes,
I'm gonna. While Ty is putting Cam in his lineup, I am gonna
indulge me.
These are my Cam numbers. He's gonna put up 312 passing yards.
Put him in.
Did I freeze? I think I froze now. Yeah. Okay.
So sad.
Hold on.
That's okay,
I keep
Tom.
freezing. Okay, so hold on. My Cam stats for this week: 312 passing yards
Mm-hmm.
and 115 rushing yards for Cam.
Bro, stop it.
with a
Stop
single
it.
passing touchdown and 2 rushing touchdowns.
115 yards. When's the last time he passed 100 yards rushing?
This week.
You're talking about 427 total yards for one man. Bro, like I know like I can be an annoying Broncos fan, but come on. 427 yards? I think the average for a team in the league is like 370. Stop it. Stop it, bro. Stop it.
I'm going to be Tommy except for Cam this week. I'm telling you, it's happening. Book it.
Oh my gosh. Man, we need to take the hot take and move it up right now because you need to have what I'm throwing out here. Oh my goodness.
All right.
427 total yards.
Before we move on from football,
I said they were random numbers. I never said I believed them. I said I'm throwing out random numbers.
Hey man, before we move on to football, the Bears got it done for your boy on his birthday though. You feel me?
They almost didn't. Didn't.
Oh, I know you a hater, man. We only got 2 more games, you know.
Who do y'all play this week?
Who do I play this week?
No. They're playing the Panthers.
That's another dub.
I don't know, man. Carolina is a well-coached team, man. Carolina has looked good, man. Teddy B is earning that money.
Teddy Bridgewater is leading the league in completion percentage right now with 73.4. That offense is looking sharp, and that defense looks really good too.
I think that is an impressive nod to Matt Rule coming from Baylor, having a quarterback who only played in 5 games last year, to be able, and losing your star running back who's the best running back in the league, to be able to be in the position where they're at 3-2 is beyond impressive. So yeah, I don't know, man. That's going to be a tough one. I think Nick Foles is going to have to put up some points, and I don't know if he can. He's kind of struggling a little bit.
They said it was a tough one against Tom Brady, bro. It's another dub.
He almost lost. It took the friggin' Buccaneers 8 consecutive penalties on offense for y'all to win.
Hey, man, we weren't even supposed to be in a conversation, bro. They passed over our game like the Lions versus Jacksonville game. That's how bad we were disrespected last week, man. It's another dub, bro. I'm telling you.
Okay. Ty, do you want to put money on this game?
We were supposed to be in a conversation.
$10.
Who's our quarterback?
I'll put $10 on this game.
I ain't putting $10 on the Bears, bro. I always root for them, but I never.
I feel that, man. I'm right there with you.
No, you're not. He's like, I'm right there with you. Lost $20 on the Broncos.
That's too much stress. They already stress me out every game, bro.
But okay, all right. So, because I know this is going to take us forever, we're going to touch upon something real small, real quick, and then we're going to get to the meat of the show. So the Rays are turning into the 2004 Yankees, and Tommy is miserable.
You just had to throw that in there, didn't you, man? It's for background, since people might not know. They know. Don't worry.
In baseball history, to give up a 3-0 lead in the postseason were the Yankees to the 2004 Boston Red Sox. And, so tonight's Game 7, the Rays were up 3-0. And I think the Astros were onto something because for games 5 and 6, they won 4-3, which is a very specific number because they're probably going to end up winning 4-3 the series.
All right, now we're going to move on to our GOAT conversation here. We're going to talk about our favorite players in the history of basketball. Yeah, let me just throw this in here, man. I'm not going to make a prediction because we've lost 3 games in a row, and I'm not very happy about it because the Rays had kind of been, they hadn't lost 2 games in a row. A lot of times they gone on a few streaks or they hadn't lost more than 2 games in a row. I don't know what's going to happen tonight, but I know we do at the end of the show. We talk about here where you can find us. If you happen to see me on social media for the rest of the night, and then you just wonder, where did Tommy go? He's not tweeting. He's not talking about anything. Just know that it's going to be a long night, and I'm not going to be in a good mood. And yeah, but we'll see. Charlie Morton, CFM, is taking the mound. We'll see what we can do. Maybe the bats can wake up for more than like 1 run in like 5 innings. So I'm not going to make a prediction because I've noticed that when I do, they don't really hold up. Tommy's hot takes are, I think, 1 for 6 in the history of the show. But I did win my last one. So
hey man, double or nothing.
we're gonna do a hot take, and it's gonna tally into the Tampa Bay Rays later. Oh, we're doing it right now.
Wait. Oh yeah, we could do it. Hold up. It's time for Tommy's hot take because we're talking about baseball. So
as I sit here in my comfy chair and I think about this season, I sit there and think that the Tampa Bay Rays finished this season at 40-20. The number 1 team in the American League. They won one of the best playoff games I've ever seen in my life, thanks to Mike Brosseau hitting a home run off of Aroldis Chapman in Game 5 of the ALDS. They took a 3-0 series lead against the Houston Astros, who were 29-31 coming into the playoffs. And then I saw them lose the first game, 3-1. Then I saw Carlos Correa, hit a walk-off homer, 3-2. Then I saw them erupt for a 5-run inning last night, and I sat there and thought, there's no way in hell they blow a 3-0 lead. I made a prediction last time that the Miami Heat would wake up and push the series to 6 games, which they did. Tampa Bay, you're not in you when you're hungry. Take a Snickers bar, man. The game starts at 8:37. Satisfy your hunger and wake up, man. What is going on? This is the first time I've been a fan that they've had a chance to make it to the World Series, and you're not going to ruin it for me. Come on, Tampa Bay. Stop messing around. Let's get it. Let's win. So satisfy your hunger and wake up. Hot take of the day. Go Rays.
If there's ever been a product placement that can get us subpoena, I think it's that one.
I've caught my composure.
We're going to get another cease and desist.
Yeah,
coming
man.
Here.
Really
Cease and desist and a loss for the Tampa Bay Rays. I'm not looking forward to it. But yeah, go Rays. I'm not going to make a prediction, but just know in the back of my head I'm really rooting for my boys. And,
I'll make a prediction.
I'm going to take my headphones off here so I don't have to listen to it.
Rays are going to win 5-2.
You didn't say that. Don't say that, man. I will say, no, I'm not. Never mind. I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to ruin it, man. I'm going to have a good night. I'm going to watch them make it to the World Series and hopefully. And yeah, if they don't, I know I won't hear the end of it because they'll be the second team in history as the announcers vehemently wanted everyone to know who was watching the game to blow a 3-0 series lead.
Hey man, it's happening in basketball left and right. Remember when that used to be just a novelty in the NBA, and now it happens every year? Yeah, man. Sorry, bro.
Don't say that, man. Don't say that. It doesn't happen in baseball, so they need to not let it happen.
I'll be rooting for the Rays just for you, bro.
Thank you.
Even
But
I
are you
don't
telling
love
me
you.
you weren't? Are you telling me you weren't for the last 3 games? Were you not rooting for him, and that's what caused it? Was I didn't have the Tyrone love? Give me that Tyrone love, man, from the couch. I need it tonight. I need you to not move from this seat until midnight when they hold up, when
That's
they make
very
it.
That's very doable. Not gonna lie to you, that's scary doable. Like I could
Yeah.
just get right here.
Jared, I need it too, man. I need that Boston love, man. Bring it.
I've been rooting for them.
Don't miss a pitch, because you know I won't.
Anyway, so to our GOAT conversation in basketball, Mr. Tyrone Stallworth is wearing what many consider to be, or who many consider to be, the definitive GOAT, Michael Jordan. So, obviously, I can't say that I have a hot take with this because the way that I think about the GOAT conversation is a little bit different than most people. So I will go last. Ty, I know your answer, but you may start.
All right. Well, I'm very biased, right? Let me start off by saying that. See, LeBron, he made me a sad Bulls fan for a long time. We had a chance with D Rose. And honestly, I don't like the fact that he had to change teams and team up with people to get his rings. I'm sorry. Michael Jordan is not having that. Kobe Bryant is not having that. Just saying. They're too competitive to say, you know what, I need to team up with. I need to move my belongings to another team so I can win the championship. Right? That's one knock against LeBron. The other knock, my guy loses in the finals. Like Jordan, undefeated in the finals, 100% to what is it, 4-6, a losing record for LeBron James. Now, granted, I will give him that he's the only one to ever be in the finals when he's played. I'll give him that. You know, that's great. Bar none. That's unmatched, right? But come on, man, you can have a losing record in the finals. You feel me? Not if you're the best, not if you're the greatest of all time, right? I just think that greatest, you have to at least have a winning record or at least tie it. You feel me? Um, Let me see. MJ, the man took everything personal, right? He's not passing up any shot. He's not passing up any game winning shot unless Steve Kerr or John Paxson is open, right? That's the only 2 times he's really passed it in game time situation, right? Another thing, and this is shout out to my friend Omer, aka Mello, right? So Mello says he was in the air, his hands were so big that he's painting. He was painting with a paintbrush while he's going up to dunk the ball. So you can contest it, and then it's gone the other way in the basket, right? I don't think anybody else besides maybe Vince Carter really does that, right? And maybe Dr. J. You feel me? LeBron, Turbo Square Master. I mean, just runs through people, and the rest is history. But my answer? My answer will be MJ for this. It will be MJ. Kobe gets overlooked. I'm sorry, Kobe. I don't know why they overlook you, but you still my guy, bro. R.I.P. I had to go on a Tommy soliloquy there. My Tommy soliloquy. I hope I did well, bro.
Uh,
Is
Tommy
that
could
going
go.
to be a new segment? The
You
Tommy
can,
soliloquy?
Tommy. I'd like you to go second with your GOAT.
Okay. Well, as much as I agree with Ty, I like to be different on this show, as we've noticed.
Go here. It comes.
Brian Scalabrine, man. I mean, that man could really play. The White Mamba. I mean, come on, man. That's impressive. Jared, how about you, man?
Shout out.
No, but in all seriousness, I do want to pick somebody different. I think when you look at Michael Jordan would be my pick. Obviously, Ty took that. I think you got to throw it back to Bill Russell. I mean, the man is a 5-time MVP. He's an 11-time All-Star, or NBA champion, not All-Star, sorry. The dude averaged 22.5 rebounds a game. I mean, he's a legend in the game of basketball. He's so good. It's impressive. Huh?
I'm not gonna lie, him and Wilt are kind of like Paul Bunyan. They're like tall tales.
Yeah, man.
You know, I kind of just put them in another category of themselves, right? So
it's beyond impressive. Yeah, no, when you think of MJ, he's won 6 titles. Bill Russell almost doubled that. Obviously, the game is completely different in the 80s and 90s than it was in the 60s, 50s and 60s, but it's still impressive. I mean, when you're at the top of the mountain 11 times, you can't get much better than that. So he's got more rings than he's got fingers. He's probably wearing one on his toe right now. So, yeah, Bill Russell's my pick outside of Brian Scalabrine. But, Jared, how about you, my man?
So, my argument for who the GOAT is a little bit different, right? Obviously, I want to say LeBron. I want to say Michael Jordan. And the reason it's different is because, for me, it's so hard to compare both players given just the different generations of basketball. Like, both games are completely different. Ty, you can give me the thumbs down all you want, but for whatever reason, okay, you know what? Scratch that. Because you gave me the thumbs down, it is strictly LeBron and no longer Michael. And I'm going to say that because of this.
Rather you say that than say it's hard to compare. That's a cop-out, bro.
No. I'm being genuine. I'm being genuine. It is hard for me to compare. They are both GOATs of their generation because I don't think one is better than the other personally. But for the sake of the segment, I will say LeBron. One thing that LeBron haters, I'm not saying that's you guys, but LeBron haters in general always use against him is anything negative, right? He's 4-6 in the finals. This bubble championship doesn't count. He's 3-6-1. He's had to form super teams to win. No, okay, none of that's true. He's never been on a super team. He's jumped 3 teams in 17 years. That's
What? What? Man, this man joined Chris Bosh and Dwayne Wade. What are you talking about? Bro, never been on a super team. Come on, man.
what is it? Before LeBron went to the Heat, what were they doing?
That's fine.
LeBron went to the team. That wasn't but the Heat. For you to say that wasn't a super team, bro. Think about it this way, bro. So,
Ty is so mad.
Let me just interrupt you for a second, bro. LeBron joined D-Wade, Chris Bosh. They were all. That's the 3 of the top 5 picks in that draft class. If MJ was to do that, he plays with Hakeem Olajuwon and who else? Charles Barkley, bro.
Okay, now, what were the Heat doing before LeBron got there? Nothing.
Okay, that's fair. That is true. But when you're talking about his super team,
hold on. It doesn't matter whether he didn't join a super team, right? When I say join a super team, you look at something like Kevin Durant going to the Golden State Warriors. Kevin Durant went to an already super team. LeBron James went to the Heat and they became a super team. That's different. LeBron did not have to join a super team in order to win his ring. They became a super team because he elevated that gameplay. He elevated that team to the championships, right? Same thing when he went back to Cleveland. He brought that team up to win a championship. He had Kyrie Irving. Doesn't matter. Kyrie's injury prone. He's a ball hog.
Oh.
LA hadn't been to the playoffs in 6 years, and now they're champions. So people always criticize LeBron for his decision to switch teams, blah, blah, blah. Sure. But people always hold LeBron's negatives against him, but nobody ever holds Jordan's negatives against him. If I'm LeBron, I'm happy that I've been to 10 finals and I haven't been swept in the first round 9 times.
Okay.
Please illuminate Jordan's negative, so we can't say that we didn't give them validation.
I'm gonna jump in here.
I'll let Tommy jump in.
I do understand what you're saying. He didn't join a super team, but he formed a super team.
Exactly.
It's not like Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh weren't the top 5 at their position groups each year. They were friends. Same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, Kyrie was a top 5 point guard. Kevin Love probably top 10, top 15 power forward at the time when they joined. Ty doesn't like that look, but he was good. You know Kevin Love.
Everything you're saying right now, it's just like, bro, he called them up, bro. Like, remember we got drafted together and said we're going to play together? Oh, yeah.
He may not have joined a super team, but he formed a super team because these players that were around him were the best at their positions. I mean, they were top 50 players at their positions. So in that case,
but that's my point. So hold on. But that's my point,
bro. Top 10.
Hold on. That's my point, though. Is before LeBron got to Miami, they weren't doing anything. They weren't making it to the finals. They weren't even making it to the conference finals. LeBron gets there, and now they're winning rings. It's different, right? Jordan,
because they were competing against LeBron.
Sure, but that's all I'm saying is it doesn't matter. They're competing against LeBron, whatever. It doesn't matter, right? It just doesn't matter because he didn't join an already super team. He went to a team with talent on it and won rings. That team wasn't doing anything before. Cleveland wasn't doing anything before he went back and they won a ring. Then he went to the Lakers, who hadn't been to the playoffs in 6 years, and they just won a ring. So what I'm saying is LeBron elevates the team around him, right? And Ty's stroking his face like, well, MJ's 6-0 in the finals. Yeah, great. I would still rather be 4-6 and have been there 10 times than have been swept 9 times in the first round. I consider making it further in the playoffs is more of merit than not. So that's my only argument.
Bro, you are totally disregarding the role of LeBron's iPhone in this situation. Bro, literally, he gets to LA. They're trash. He's not trash, but they're trash, right?
Sure.
AD, bro, I need you to come. All right, bet. And it's done. Right? He goes to Miami Heat. He's like, AD Wade, your team looking real nice right now. I think I'm gonna come slide. And he was like, hold on, wait. I think I could pick up Chris Bosh on my way there, right? Come on, bro. Like, the man's phone is being used, man. Like,
I feel like I understand what you're trying to say, Jared, but I feel like
it doesn't matter. Like,
I know,
Jordan had Pippen, and Jordan without Pippen doesn't win.
But they drafted Pippen.
Exactly.
Right.
That's the difference. They drafted Pippen, bro. He can't.
I feel like you're acting like LeBron joined, a bunch of scrubs. Like D Wade is one of the best.
Bro, he didn't do what Udonis has in Heat, bro. He brought Chris Bosh with him, and D-Wade just let him in the party.
Mike Miller was really leading that Heat team, man.
Man, you
10 finals is better than 6.
I'll give you that. But what about that winning percentage, bro?
The what?
The winning percentage. It's 4 out of 6.
Okay, but that doesn't matter. That does not matter. And the reason that doesn't matter is because LeBron has still made it deeper in the playoffs more times than Jordan.
Do you see my eyes here? That doesn't matter. What's Brady's record in the Super Bowl?
6-3.
Exactly. Why is he a top? Peyton Manning is right up there with him, and Manning is what? 2-2.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, man. Like,
but what I'm saying is, LeBron has gone further in the playoffs more than Jordan has. Yes, the 6 times Jordan has gone to the finals, he has three-peated twice. That is amazing, and I'm not discrediting it discrediting that. Right?
Yeah, he retired. He could have had that whole decade, bro. He retired in the middle of a three-peat.
There's also a lot better teams that he faced. I mean, come on, he got pushed to 7 games. I'm a Pacers fan, but he got pushed to 7 games by the Pacers 2 years, like a few years ago. I mean, come on, man. Like Jordan was going against the Knicks. He was going against the the Pistons. He was going against the Pacers with Reggie Miller. I mean,
that man LeBron went against what? Paul George and Roy Hibbert.
David West, baby, number 21.
Oh man,
Psycho T, Tyler Hansbrough.
He too, bro.
Jared, we know you know we love you, but come on, man.
But what I'm trying to say is, Jordan has been swept in the first round 9 times.
That's a fact. Name anybody on that team other than Jordan, though. Like, that's when he first got drafted there. They wasn't even making the playoffs before Jordan got drafted to the Bulls.
Well, was he playing with Bill Cartwright back then?
Like, they weren't in the playoffs, bro. And the Bulls were like, we never made the playoffs before Jordan's the man. He's like, bro, we didn't win nothing, bro.
Yeah.
Still,
hey, man, I'm all for the Jordan LeBron conversation. I think it's entertaining, but to act like LeBron didn't join some super team, I think that's pretty egregious. I mean, come on, man. He joined some of the best players in the league.
Exactly. I could give you any other argument that you said, but the super team argument, bro. I'm sorry, bro. It wasn't LeBron, Udonis Haslem, and
I don't think he joined a super team. I think he formed them.
Yeah, he definitely formed them.
I think he formed them. But
what's the difference? He joined one.
Because he can elevate a team to win. That's the difference.
But Dwayne Wade doesn't need elevation. Dwayne Wade won an NBA final by himself.
Sure. But that doesn't matter. Like I digress. You guys are right. How's that? You guys are correct.
Jared, you know we love you, man. You know we love you.
You guys are correct.
Jared, I gotta say, maybe.
Well, never. Go ahead, Tommy.
I was just gonna say, maybe we should change it to Jared's hot take, because you're throwing out some hot fire here tonight. Do you want me to go get my almonds back here and make some bold claims over here? Because I got them sitting over there. My goodness, 427 yards, and LeBron didn't join no super team. Are you gonna join Gary and tell me that the Jets are gonna make the Super Bowl this year?
I'm only going to make that claim once Damian Lillard is better than Jamal Murray. All right.
Oh. Shots fired in the Back Sports page group chat. Woo!
Hilarious. I definitely hear what you're saying with the LeBron versus KD thing, bro. I get it. But as far as, yeah, man, it's still a super thing.
But now, if I could go back to my previous point before Ty was like, that's a cop-out. The generation of basketball between now and when Jordan was playing are basically 2 completely different games. And with that being said, Jordan is the greatest of all time for his generation of basketball, and LeBron is the greatest of all time for his generation. And that's my genuine argument for it. Mm-hmm. But a case can be made for LeBron being the GOAT. And that's all I was trying to prove.
Of course.
That there is a case there. So my personal thing, right, is I can't choose one or the other because the games are just so drastically different. That's like saying right now, Tommy, I'll relate it to baseball for you. That's like saying, whoever you think is the greatest of all time for baseball. Let's say
Pete Rose.
I'll throw a random name out there. Sure, Pete Rose.
Petey Rose.
When he was playing baseball, the game was a lot different than now where Mike Trout's playing. And I personally think Mike Trout is the greatest of all time.
No, I agree with that. I see what you mean by that. I'm just saying that. How do I put this? It is weird. It's hard to differentiate between even a Bill Russell or a Wilt Chamberlain because the eras were so different. I just think the whole. Like, I understand your argument. I just think the whole thing about him not being on a super team is what got me and Ty a little riled up. That was the only thing. I understand you being, you picking LeBron. That's fine. There's people who are always going to debate that. I just think the whole forming a super team and not using that patented iPhone of his. I mean, I'm sure he called up little Bronny after a few of the games for his little mishaps, but
he even trying to get Bronny on his team. But anyway, I do got a question for you, Jared, bro. All right, so I'll give you that the areas are different. So if you was to put MJ in today's game, you don't think he'll get buckets, bro?
No, I think he'd be phenomenal. I think he would be great.
Average 40, average 30 bucket lead.
I felt my heart leave because I thought he was going to say no. Thought he was going to be like, no, he'd average like 5. He'd be a bench warmer, man.
No, I think on the other side of that, if you put LeBron in MJ's era, I think he'd thrive in that era too. So it goes both ways.
So then we taking that's a cancellation in math, bro. It happened on both sides of the equation.
Jared is
unfortunately we'll never know.
Thinking mathematically. Sixth edition. This is the 6th edition for MJ's 6th ring.
Why do you have a at your feet as soon as I say math?
Bro, I don't have a lot of things. I got a Snickers bar sitting next to me that I just seductively ate while we were doing this, so I don't really know.
All right, so before this gets any more out of hand, guys, why don't you tell everybody where they can find you, Ty? Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, man. You can find me on IG at Ty_Talk Sports. You can find me on at Twitter at TYEE_3. You won't see much activity from there, though. You can find me on Facebook at Tyrone Stallworth. Just look for this beautiful face. There you go.
Tommy?
Well, you see my Twitter handle right there near my name. I think it's right here. There it is. Right there. Tommy Smith 1515. Just check the MLB scoreboard here tonight, and if I go social media dark, you see can't find this account anymore. Just know that the Rays lost, and I'm slowly sorrowing in my pity. So
the Rays are going to win 5-2.
Don't say that, man. Don't you dare jinx it. Satisfy your hunger, Tampa Bay. I ate the Snickers bar for you.
And then you guys already know you can find me on Twitter at journalistj0. Like Ty says, you can look for this pretty face on Facebook. Just look up Jared Zero. I should be the only one. I've done one of those like name search things, like to see how many people share your same name, and I'm the only one in the world. So it's pretty impressive.
There's a soccer player named Tommy Smith, so I'm not the best
sure
one.
I'm literally sure there's millions of people named Tommy Smith.
But is there one who seductively eats a Snickers bar on a podcast at 3:30 in the afternoon on a Saturday? I don't think so.
Again, guys, don't forget to check out all the great stuff being put up by Back Sports Page. We got tons of great shows. Shout out to the Exit Velo podcast, the Zero Technique Football podcast, the Deep Six podcast, which features Tommy, Off Topic with Randy Zelia, Hardwood Huddle with Sam and Bill Ingram. Tons of great shows. Don't forget to check them out. All of our stuff is live on Facebook, YouTube, just under Back Sports Page. Also, don't forget to check out the great content. And you can follow Back Sports Page on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, just about any social media. But, guys, until next week, well, actually, we won't be on next week. Tyrone is going on vacation.
That's
so, Ty?
Right. But you can also find LeBron's iPhone somewhere where you can't find me.
King James, that's his Instagram, I think.
Yes, it is.
Just send him a DM. He might try to recruit you to the Lakers.
You're just going to make like a couple of shots. I mean, to be fair, Kyle Kuzma's pretty bad, so. But anyway. Ty, hope you have a safe vacation, my dude.
Yes, sir.
So not this week, but next week, or 2 weeks from now, we will see y'all later. But until then.
Peace.